Everyone, welcome back to Digging Deeper. This week, I want to have a quick look inside with you at the nursery here at FQT Farm. It's a really interesting time of the year because we're growing plants that are just going inside our greenhouses. And anyway, come on, I'll show you. So, first of all, the nursery here at FQT Farm is quite high-tech, to be frank, and the reason is we're growing year-round here. So there's heating costs that are in the January and February that having a greenhouse structure like this mitigates it. But if we're not just talking about that, we're talking about growing. There's certain plants here that perhaps some growers don't know much about, and that they should, and ginger is one of them. The ginger is one crop that market gardeners should learn how to grow because it's a really unique crop. First of all, not a lot of growers grow it. And then most importantly, you can make a lot of money per square foot by growing ginger. Chefs really love fresh ginger, but people at market, when they discover it, there's a lot of health properties around ginger. It creates a lot of buzz when you come at the market with that fresh ginger. And for me, after all these years of growing all the most popular crops, tomatoes, eggplants, all heat-loving crops that are in the greenhouses, when ginger came around, that was about 6-7 years ago, I started to see it at farmers markets. Some growers were sharing tips and tricks about how to do it. I really did a deep dive and went and learned how to do it effectively. And the results have been really, really more than I thought it would. It currently ranks at number 2 in our most profitable crop at the farm. Number 1 being heirloom tomatoes. The main difference between ginger that we grow and the ginger that you'll find at the supermarket is that it's fresh. And it has a lot more taste, flavor, and it's organically grown, locally grown. So there's a lot of people that are in health, that are diets, and that are really into what the qualities that ginger can add to either teas or into certain recipes. So there's a demand for it. For me, the interesting thing about ginger, beside how it looks and how it feels, is that it's certainly one crop that I never thought we could be self-sufficient with. In a climate like ours here in northern Quebec. I really thought ginger was grown in the south only, and just to be able to grow it up here and to grow it economically, commercially, viably, I think that's really cool. What's really cool about ginger also is that it's something new to grow. And for me, as somebody that's been doing it all these years, it's like introducing a new plant, understanding the parameters of how to do it successfully, how to plant it, in the greenhouse, the depth, the watering, how to fertilize it correctly. And it's kind of one of these plants that's kind of, once it's well started, it just kind of goes on its own. And it just stays there for all these months without a lot of maintenance. And I think that's pretty cool. There's some crops that, like the tomatoes here, they're super lucrative, but they're very high maintenance. And the ginger, the beauty of it is that once it's well established, well started, boom, it's just gonna grow, and then you'll be harvesting, really nice bumper crops. So it's one crop that I like for that, and it's definitely cool. It's definitely a cool crop to grow. So these are greenhouse tomatoes, indeterminate plants. You see we grow them on 2 heads. And they're grafted. They're really nice looking. The spacing when growing tomatoes inside the nursery is important, making sure that they have enough light for them to grow and expand. But these are really nice. In another video, we'll talk about grafting, why it's important, but it really is, and it makes a big difference. These are leeks, how we grow the leeks. We start them in open trays. And I want to show you the peppers. The peppers are really nice also. So this is a really nice transplant bell pepper. Has the right size, it's about 18-inch high. You see the color, it's really nice. It doesn't have any aphids, which is a big thing. We have tricks for that, but it's definitely nice. And Catherine, the woman that runs the nursery, is not in this episode of Digging Deeper, but she should be because she's really awesome. And it really shows when somebody has the green thumb, you can see it in the nursery because it's a lot. It's, you know, growing in the nursery is about paying attention. It's about giving love. It's about exactly knowing what you're doing, but there's something that's more kind of like intuitive about growing these young seedlings. And Catherine, she's the woman that I co-authored the winter farming book with, the Maraichage nordique in French. She now runs FQT Farm, the training school here. You know, I've been working with her for 4 years now. She's amazing, and she's in charge of the nursery this year. So again, FQT is a special place because we're growing year-round in the northern climate, and this greenhouse is definitely more high-tech than the one that I have at my farm, with the rolling benches, with the night curtains, with the fans, with the size of the structure. It's also a solar building because it's connected to the washing station. But this is a feature that I think is really cool. It has the hardening off area connected to the greenhouse. And so when we're ready to harden off the plants before they go into the fields, which is an important part of making sure that they won't have any shocks when they're transplanted, we can just take them from the bench and roll them out directly outside to an area that's not heated. So check it out. So we have beautiful leeks here. We have all of our transplanted spinach that are going to be in the fields really early. Really nice. Broccoli's coming up. So they're looking really good. That's amazing. Then we have other crops that will be planted in our caterpillar tunnels. Really early beets, transplanted beets. You see how both buildings connect, but there's different temperatures in the nursery, the hardening off area. And again, this might be a high-tech structure, but the concepts can be applied to a much smaller building. That's what we do at my own farm at La Grelinette. So that's about it for this week. A little tour of the nursery, what's going on, and an amazing crop that you should be learning about, ginger. Check it out. So that's it for this week's episode. There'd be a lot more to share. Ginger is one of these crops that if you can master how to do it well, you can really profit from it. And if you want to learn more about how to grow ginger, you really should be checking out the masterclass, the online course that I teach. The whole crop itinerary is there with all the other crops that we grow here at the farm. It's really a complete program, and I designed it so that you can have a better learning curve, a smaller learning curve, learning how to grow these crops. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Again. It's our incentive to keep on doing these. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope things are growing, and I will see you next week. JM out.